The alien agenda. I've been reading about aliens. I have this evening. Just been looking at them, and I don't know why, but that cattle, you know how the cattle, the cows, and the sheeps and stuff had these precision markings on their body, and the blood sucked all out of their beings. The cattle mutilations and sheeps and stuff, and some of the animals, I don't know how that got recommended to me. I wasn't searching that. As soon as I got on here, it showed up. It started with the sheep. And it's been documented. It's been going on since around the 1600s or something like that. Documenting the missing sheep, the sheep dying all of a sudden, and some of their. Let me just say, you all, this might not be something you might want to hear. You may not want to hear it because it might be a little too adult. Okay, this is an adult live stream at this moment. It is. But I'm talking about aliens, and the not too friendly aliens, really. And we'll talk about the War of the Worlds too, because I don't think that was just all hype. I really don't think it was all that just hype. I really don't. But the alien agenda, I saw that on the thing. But with these sheep ranchers around the world, their sheep would have some of their organs taken out of them. Precision cuts, their blood drained completely out of them. And you know what they would find next to some of them? They would find indentions in the ground, tripod indentions in the ground. Like a tripod, 3 legs. Right in the ground next to some of these, like the cows and the sheep. No trace of blood. No nothing. And some of these, they look like they were dropped from way up in the air, and their bones got broke. Their bones got broke, you all. But there's no trace of nothing except that tripod thing in the ground, like a suction cup thing. In one instance, maybe the bushes were smashed. And then, they're talking about that. They blamed it on the aliens. They did. They blamed it on the aliens, and I thought, well, the War of the Worlds, it had those tripods in it, and their legs are really big. Their legs are really tall, and their bodies are way up there, way up there. So if they got one of those cattle or one of those sheeps, they could suck it up there inside their whatever, do whatever they wanted to with their advanced technology, and then they could just drop it, or then they can just beam it back down after they extract everything that they want. Because when I read about the tripod in the ground, I was like, wait a minute. Some of it was and they came from Mars, the Martians from Mars. They said about some of these aliens, these tripod things, an advanced race would come in these cylindrical pods and then they would have this great big metal round thing, and their appendages, or whatever you want to call them, would come out. Yeah, this sounds kind of wild. I don't even know if I'm talking to anybody. I could be talking to myself again. You let me look. If I am, nothing. What can I do about it except continue to talk to myself? I'm going to go somewhere. I have no idea where I'm going to go. Hello, Susan B. Honey. Hello, everyone. I just want to go down through here. You all, we got some people on here. We got some human beings on here, and there hopefully there's no aliens. If there are, we're on to you, especially if you're one of the bad aliens. We know about you. But if you're a good extraterrestrial, we know about you too. We really do. So let me do this, you all. You argue with yourself. That's okay, you all. So I had found myself on this thing right here. I'm going to show you where I found myself. There were these things right here talking about these cattle. Look, this person wrote this comment about the cattle. The same BS started happening in my uncle's ranch in South Dakota in the 70s. The dead cattle had their tongues, their eyes, their blood removed, no signs of tracks. People were freaked out, and some of the ranchers' wives wanted to sell out and leave. They were being told it could be aliens. Then a few ranchers decided to put together some groups of armed men throughout the night, and one saw a black helicopter with all black uniformed men land in the pasture and began their mutilation in the cattle. Shots were fired, and all the black-dressed men, I guess you could say the men in black, left in the helicopter, and the ranchers figured out it was oil companies testing the cattle for traces of uranium and other elements. And then the mutilation stopped at that point. Okay, that's what that person said. It stopped at that point. Then there was another comment on here, you all. I looked at 2 videos. Look, I truly believe the government knows what's taking place here. These poor animals don't have a chance, and they don't, you all. It's so sad. It really is. This happened years ago on a farm town in Carrollton, Illinois. No explanation, and long forgotten, you all. I feel it's alien related, especially with the precision cutting. Animal parts missing, no trace of blood or footprints, broken bones as if dropped from high up, but triangle-shaped cup impressions left in the ground. It's a telltale sign from this story. The Skinwalker Ranch is very mysterious. UFOs are going in and out of a mountain. Besides the oceans, a huge wolf appearing, then disappearing, and then getting shot by a 3 OTT. I don't know what a 3 OTT is, and it doesn't phase it. The ley lines, the HARP, the chemtrails, the kookaburra, direct energy weapon, radiation. It could be any of these possibilities. I don't feel the cameras will pick up anything because these aliens are far more advanced in technology than we are. And I feel for the farmers and the animals. So I'm not the link of this thing, you all, the link to this video right here, you can see it. Let me just see if we can get through that ad right there. I'm going to show you what the name of it is. I'm not going to show it, but you got to wait for a minute. Wait for a minute, you all, because it was talking about the cows. Okay. The cows at the ranch right here. And they were talking about the cows. Okay, where's the sheep? You got the sheep also. And they couldn't figure out what was happening. This is the name of it. The rancher sent a chill message after making his discovery of his private ranch. And they couldn't understand what happened. They said it becomes difficult when your cattle start to expire, which means they're no longer alive under mysterious circumstances. And what many people aren't aware of is that these strange circumstances have been reported for hundreds of years. And each time the cases get investigated, we get no closer to understanding what or who is doing it, you all. Okay, so that was that one, you all. But they're talking about that, you all. And then look at this. The War of the Worlds. You see those legs right there? Those legs? And it came from Mars. They came from Mars. The H.G. Wells. Hey, um, do you see this? Something just now clicked in my mind. The H.G. Wells production of the War of the Worlds, and then who else has a name with the word Wells? Shoot. Oh no, it was this one. I saw the word well, but then I saw the word George or well. Okay, you all just pause that, just leave it like that. That kind of popped in my mind at the same time it did, just reading that, you all. But these things right here, these things right here came to Earth. They look like meteorites falling from the sky is what they look like in this. They're bringing it back. They're bringing it back, and it never gets old. They come here like that, and then they come out of there, and they're great big things. They're great big things with legs like this. War of the Worlds. See, listen to this. An advance party arrives inside a metal cylinder. A cylinder is like the cigar ships, right? Metal cylinders. But you know, we documented cylinder pods coming down at the observatories in Hawaii, you all. We've documented those, caught them in action, just coming straight down, going into wherever they're going into the ground. Well, they call these advance parties. Really? They're shot from giant canyons stationed on Mars. Well, how do they know they're shot from giant canyons stationed on Mars? That's where Elon Musk wants to go. He wants to go to Mars. Why you want to go to Mars, Elon Musk? Mr. Musk? So look, they operate three-legged metal fighting machines. Whatever is combustible flashes, liquid metal liquefies, glass melts, water explodes. Look at that. They said it spreads like a you know what. So they are three-legged. The three-legged, you all. These War of the Worlds. And you can see some more images of them. And they have saw these like tripod things at where their cattle is dead. Their sheep are dead. They find 3 indentions in the ground with suction cups. And that's all they see is the suction cups. Listen. This is bound to exist, really. This is bound to exist. Look, 1895. Something like this is bound to exist. Look at that right there. Looks like it looks awful. And that's look like an arachnid or whatever it is. They suck the blood out of their bodies, you all. This is like aliens. This would be one of the bad species. It really would be bad. But that's not really what I'm talking about. Gina, let's get back to what you're talking about. The alien agenda. So they got these cattle mutilations. They do. And some person said, well, you know, they came down in a helicopter. The black men came out. The ranchers ran them off and it stopped. Well, they didn't have the helicopters doing it back then in the 1600s. So it couldn't have been the government doing it. Okay, it could not have been the government doing it in the 1600s. Okay, it couldn't have been. No. But what was really worse the precision. I don't know if you all heard this, but they got a hold of a human being and they did it. It was horrific. I thought, oh my gosh. They did the same thing to the human and sucked out all the blood. And they made precision cuttings, just like they do on the cattle. You know how you field dress a deer? You know how you do all this stuff and things? You know, if you're gonna... They did that to the human. And It was the first known case ever documented that happening to. And the precision, like they do on the cattle. And I thought about that a while ago. We have laparoscopic surgery. Laparoscopic surgery, you all. Now think about this. Small hole, precision, precise. Where did they get that technology? Where did they get the technology, you all, to do that? Where did they get that knowledge? Because this stuff has been happening to the cattle. To the cattle. Who gave them that technology and that knowledge to do something like that? Ask yourself. Because they can do that. They can make those puncture wounds in your body. Do whatever. Boom. Where'd they get it? Did they get it from the same species that did it to the cattle? To the sheep? Did they? And in the cows, they were picking a specific type. When they took all the blood, like they extracted all the red blood cells out of the heart of this one thing, and it turned white. And they got the technology from these aliens, you all. It wasn't just helicopters, people jumping off of helicopters. No, this has been going on for hundreds of years, they said. Laparoscopic surgery. How do they know how to do laser surgery? Where did all of it come from, really? Think about it. Hello, you all. Oh, my gosh. It has been here for hundreds of thousands of years. But we haven't. I haven't. Not in this body. I haven't been here on this earth in this body and that technology going around like it is now and seeing and knowing what I've seen and known. Neither has any of you all presently on this earth in your physical bodies. The thing is, it's being brought out into the light. It's being brought out into the light, you all. And they said, we're going to read it. I'm not showing you. I'm not going to show you what I saw. I'm not going to show you what I saw because it's horrible. It's not nice, you all. No, I can't even show you the cartoon picture. I can't. I cannot even show you the cartoon animation. But the autopsy, you all, the autopsy states. I'm not going to say what it states. I don't even like to have to scroll through the images. I don't know if you were aware of it. But they said that there was torture. You know they're doing it to the animals. Okay? Oh my gosh. They say the extraction, they took the body parts out and they used suction devices with the animals. And they say the beings responsible are not likely from this planet. They're not likely from this planet Earth, you all. They're not. There's no way you could be from the planet Earth and do that. It's immoral, the brutal, immoral nature of this suspected extraterrestrial mutilation. An autopsy conclusion implies the person went to, it was systematic, you all. It was systematic. It was precise. It was efficient, is what it was. They said if you're skeptical about the assumption that it was due by the work of extraterrestrials, you all, with extraterrestrials, I'll let you see this part. Then you have to ask who or what is doing this to the animals and the humans. Would agencies within the government abduct us? Given what we know about the intelligent apparatus of the government, yes. The better question is, do these agencies have the technology to do so? And do they have the technology to extract the body matter in such a systematic and effective way? Does the military-industrial complex, with their multi-trillion-dollar black budget, have the capability to carry out technological mutilation? If so, what the hell do they need living internal organs for? Another confusing question is, why wouldn't they properly dispose of the evidence? What possible reason would they have for engaging into a complex mutilation extraction process and then put the savage carcass back into the public view? Another possibility is that it was not caused by any living beings at all, that the responsible ones behind the alien abductions are powered by a computational intelligence. Alien robots. I didn't read through this, you all. Alien robots. As far-fetched as that might be, it is conceivable that there could be organized races of robotic intelligences who have interstellar capability. It's at least a consideration, given the fact that whoever committed this systematic extraction has not even a remote extent of human feeling, not even a remote extent of human feeling, you all. It parallels the cattle mutilations. You may have heard the term of it, much more common than the human. This Garaparenga case and the hundreds of cattle cases reported in the United States bear striking similarity. The above scene, you could guess, is scary. It's scary with the doing it to the cows, you all. But, no, you all. It says they have the technological, this right here, they're using advanced technological processes that seem to defy even the capabilities of most modern medical procedures. The alien agenda, which brings us to this, you all, the alien agenda. This case is tentative evidence that at least some alien visitors are not friendly. Given the amount of UFO and extraterrestrial activity evidenced in the thousands of videos and photographs in public archives, including UFOs on NASA's own footage, it's likely that there are multiple extraterrestrial races existing in our solar system. One former geologist and engineer, you all be just tuning in. This is not for everyone, you all, because this is talking about the dark side of dark aliens, bad demonic entities. This is talking about the dark side. This is, and I don't like to talk about it. You will not hear me. You listen to this. You will not hear me be doing very many videos like this at all, because I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't even like to have knowledge of it, you all, but something is going on, and has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay. This engineer claimed that the U.S. military and the international militaries of the world have been, in quote, constant conflict with the outer space alien, both underground and above the surface. These aliens, he said, included the small grays, the large grays, and the reptilian. Do you see this, you all? The U.S. military and the international militaries of the world have been, in quote, constant conflict with outer space alien, both underground and above the ground surface. These aliens, he said, included small grays, large grays, and reptilians. You may say, well, the militaries are sided with them. No. See, you can't say that. You can't say the militaries, because then you'd have to say every single person in the military, in militaries all around the world, are in cahoots with them. No. I've heard of this white hats for a long time. I have. You have good guys and you have bad guys. And I refuse to believe that all the military, all the international militaries of the world are all bad. I refuse to believe it because we have some good on this earth. I believe, and so do a lot of others, that they are fighting them. Now, there may be some that have infiltrated. Yes, there are. They have infiltrated the militaries of the world. Some bad aliens. But then we've got good humans in those militaries too who know about them, you all. Who know about them. Let me read this. Could there be, listen to this, you all. Could there be a genuine extraterrestrial threat? And if so, is it rogue groups who are violating interstellar agreements by infiltrating our planet with occasional abductions, or is it an entire race of aliens that could potentially exterminate the entire human population? Well, we know that the entire human population is facing existential threat. We know that. It's like this. An entire race of aliens could potentially exterminate the entire human population. Look what's happening in our world, you all. One could say there is a genuine extraterrestrial threat, and it is from a rogue group who are violating interstellar agreements and or universal law. Universal law. And it's a whole entire race of them. You could say that. Look, while I admit this conclusion is digressing into the realm of conspiracy, it seems certain anyway that this case is yet another incident that is by all logic performed by extraterrestrials. The publicly available data surrounding this case, combined with an understanding of the mountains of evidence, suggests that there are indeed extraterrestrial visitors already engaging the planet, which includes several hundred corporate, government, and military witnesses who have offered to testify to Congress as part of the Disclosure Project. Then it's not a stretch to make this conclusion, you all. I'm not even going to put that on there because I don't even want to put that on there, that where that came from. I don't. But then look. Three hostile, the Anunnaki, the Greys, and the Reptilian, three hostile species. Why did they put this here on April the 12th of 2017? Really, why did they do it? Okay, you got to go for a few. You got to go. Jackie M., honey, you got to go. That's okay. You can. And, you know, you've seen the things where they, like, captured, like, an alien gray, and he sounded very demonic when he was speaking, and I couldn't listen to it. It was like an interview with a demonic alien gray, and I thought, no, I can't, because the energy was horrible. And I thought, even if they do make it look like it's made up, it's too horrific. The energy coming was awful, you all. It really was. Misinterpreted throughout the centuries as gods. Here are three of the most hostile aliens, according to experts, that have been visiting the earth since the time immemorial. The idea that we are not the only life forms in the universe has captured the imagination and interests of not only scientists but philosophers, historians, and other experts throughout the centuries. One of the first to speak about alien life is Italian Dominican friar, philosophical mathematician, poet, and cosmological theorist Giordano Bruno. He's remembered for his cosmological theories, which conceptually extended the then novel Copernican model. He has proposed that the stars were just distant suns surrounded by their own exoplanets, and he raised the possibility that these planets could even foster life of their own. Look at this. The Anunnaki. They're believed to be the creators of man. These mighty gods left the earth in a distant past, saying that one day they shall return to earth. And if we look at the ancient cultures around the globe, most of their gods, creator gods, left the earth and promised to return one day. So it's not just one God that promises to return one day, you all. And they just said, if you look at all the other ancient cultures around the globe, most of their gods, their creator gods, left earth and they have promised to return one day. Their creator gods. According to the latest Assyrian, you all, let's listen to this. The Babylonian myth, the Anunnaki were the children of Anu and Ki. Brothers and sister gods, the Anunnaki appear in the Babylonian creation myth, Enuma Elish. The Anunnaki are mentioned in the Epic of Gilgamesh, when Utnapishtim tells the story of the flood. These are the four primary gods, Anu, Enlil, Enki, and Nihurshag. Have you all heard of Nihurshag? I've never heard of Nihurshag at all. I haven't. Many researchers believe firmly, based on the numerous discoveries, the Anunnaki, the Sumerians, those who came down from the heavens, a highly advanced civilization from an elusive planet in our solar system, came to Earth, landing in the Persian Gulf 432,000 years ago. They created man as a slave race to help them mine gold. Eventually, the Anunnaki left Earth, leaving their creation behind, promising. The Greys. The Greys. They are one of the most famous alien species. There's two types of gray aliens. The small grays are said to possess an extremely large head. I did capture them. I captured a gray alien in my yard. I did. It was back in around 2019. A gray alien. I was working on my she shed is what I was doing. And you can see them. They got extremely large heads. I was walking back, and it was probably around 9 o'clock at night. You see their brows? See their eyes? Right there, look at that. Just like that. You can see them in the inverted mode. Nadine, honey, I did. It's 2019, and look at them. They're interdimensional. They come and go as they please. They come and go as they please. I could tell I was being watched. I could. See, look at that. They got their pincher fingers sticking up because they don't like their picture taken. There was 2 of them. Susan, honey, if my lips aren't matching my words, then it's the technology that's doing it, because it ain't me. They're slowing it down. The bit rate is what I think. Something's happening to the bit rate. Yeah, interdimensional like. Look at this tether thing coming out of the sun. Yeah, but I captured them. Okay, I did. Let's get back to this, you all. I'm having a hot flash. I got to take off my jacket. So I'm getting hot now. This got me hot. Take it off. All right, I got it. Now let's look at this. The Greys are said to be the extremely large heads, and that's what I've just showed you. Almond-shaped eyes. They had almond-shaped eyes, but this one's had little beady eyes. Small bodies. They are said to be clones of the other species known as the tall grays. And according to ufologists and researchers, their population is in fact very small, which is why they have numerous clones among them. They have almond-shaped eyes, most commonly associated with the abductions. Many experts firmly believe mankind even has a secret pact with these alien grays, a secret pact. Oh my goodness. They are said to come from the constellation of Orion and the star system Zeta Reticuli. Right there. They come from the constellation Orion and the star system Zeta Reticuli. Let's look at this UFO. According to many, their population is small and they have a great number of clones. Walking among them. These beings are said to behave like robots and they lack souls. They lack a soul. They don't got a soul. They don't got a soul. According to reports, sometime during the 50s, the government of the U.S. made a secret pact with the gray aliens. My gosh, I'm getting hot. I gotta take my shoes off. Just give me a second. It's making me hot. Make a secret pact. Well, made something fall. With the aliens, the gray aliens. We received extremely advanced alien technology for study, while they got the green light to abduct the people and perform human experiments on them. That's what they got. They got to perform human experiments on the people. There's some statues in ancient Samaria where we also find cave drawings in Europe and in Australia where the heads feature a triangular shape with the big roundish eyes. Cave paintings in Kimberley region of Australia, believed to be thousands of years old, could be the earliest depictions of greys ever discovered. According to local legends, the carvings are of ancient spirits called the Wandjina, who appeared during a dream time to create the landscape, influence its inhabitants, and a possible connection to the great. The reptilians, right there you are. The reptilians, right there. These are supposed to be a hostile species. You don't want to look at him. Throughout history, we have heard tales of these strange-looking creatures that apparently live among us. On Earth, there are so many stories about reptilian entities both in the past and in the present, as if these beings were here since the beginning of time on the planet. History talks about them, and modern-day sightings are becoming more and more frequent of these aliens. Reptilian upright serpent. He was more subtle than all the beasts of the fields, that serpent was. What it said. Oh my goodness. There have been stories of beings half human, half reptile for centuries. There have, and you have the Nagas. But this is just a result of human imagination, they say. Is it just a result of human imagination, or is there something more about these strange beings that have conquered our history test? Looking back in history, we find several tales about strange creatures, which were worshipped by the ancestors in South America. The Quetzalcoatl, the Kukulkan are some of the gods, which are reptilian beings that are worshipped as God. The Quetzalcoatl is a Mesoamerican deity whose name comes from the Nahuatl language, which means the feathered serpent. The worship of the feathered serpent is first documented in the Teotihuacan in the 1st century of BC and CE, According to the ufologists, they measure about 4 meters in height. They are characterized as excellent warriors and have extremely hierarchical and competitive political and military systems. Now just think about that. Extremely hierarchical and competitive political and military systems. What is the most powerful things on this earth, Now let's think about that. The political and the military and the hierarchies. Really. Excellent warriors. They have great psychic power, and they feed on the negative energies like fear and hatred. Thus, they are considered regressive and were once considered before as demons. So you also, that's that's what happened. And I don't like looking at them, you all. I don't like looking at them at all. They're kind of gross. Oh, yeah. I don't like reading about them. Excuse me. I don't really like reading about them at all, you all. And we got some hostile aliens on this earth. We really do. And I know they don't like us talking about it, but I can't help it. I just, I started off watching this video right here. And it's talking about those cattle thing. And I don't know how I ended up to something else. But then what if there's something like this underground? Right here. What if there is more to the War of the Worlds than what meets the eye? Really think about it. What if there is? And what about in the salt mines of Romania when we had that, what it was like, what did we call that? I can't even think of it. I'm kind of tired. It had the big long tentacles that reached out, and it was reaching toward that thing underground, that amusement park. Hydra, like a Hydra-like thing with big long tentacles. It like it was getting its energy from it. And these things right here, I've seen this like this in my dream. I've seen this in my dream state. Have you all seen this in your dream state too? Something like this? Look at that. I saw that years ago. I saw this thing like this on my banister going down into the stairs. But my banister was on the other side of the wall in my dream state. It was opposite of what it is here. But this thing, it looked just like that, and it had babies with it in my house in my dream state. But everything was opposite. But that's exactly what it looked like. It did. Have you all seen it? Yeah. It looked like that. And it wasn't that big. It wasn't humongous. It was probably about the size of, I don't know, maybe, I don't know the size. I'd say a watermelon, but that's kind of too big. But it looked like that. Blessings too. You was scared, but you're getting used to these dreams now, Velvet Parker. Yeah. That's what I saw in my dream state. Needless to say, the next morning, I went down to my hallway and I wiped that banister way down and I prayed over it and I anointed it. I said, I'm not having nothing like that in this house. It could have been from a parallel world since it was on the opposite side of the wall. It didn't get in. None of it did. It had to stay where it was at, you all. But really, what if there are machines like this? Really, think about it. And what's this? I've never heard of this. Star crystal. What is a star crystal? I don't even know what that is. Interplanetary expedition, a new life form. They wish they hadn't. What's that about, you all? The star crystal. Do you think they have found this? Okay, you all. Let's see if we can just find. Just give me 1 second. Star crystal. STAR crystal. Life form book. Okay, as you see, it already knows about it. It's a science fiction film. It's got red eyes. Oh my gosh, look at this thing, you all. This is 1986 and now it's, oh, this is the year, that's 2032? That's coming. That's coming soon. They must survive against a mysterious alien life form that seeks to kill them. In 2032, a crew went to Mars and discovered a mysterious egg buried under the planet's surface. Is this going to be Mr. Musk? He's going to go to Mars and he's going to get a mysterious egg. He's going to find a mysterious egg under the planet's surface. and brings it back here, and it hatches. Crystal and slimy alien creature. That's kind of strange. It's a crystal. Like to the crystal chamber. It hacks and takes over the ship. That's kind of strange. Alpha 7. I don't know about it, but everything is weird, you all. It's so weird, and I don't even like looking at it. I don't want to look at it. Let me put it back to me. I've done talked too much, and I'm going to be going. But the alien agenda, they say there's at least 3 hostile aliens, and you could probably call them demons if they're really hostile. But there are also good aliens. There's also good beings, good angelic beings. I've been thinking the past few days, it's like if they're fighting with you, even though you may not be exactly the same, if they're not fighting against you but joining you in the fight against a common foe, then they're with you. Okay, really. If you have somebody who's standing by your side and you may not really, but you're both fighting the same enemy, you're gonna join forces so you can defeat that enemy, because neither of you like that enemy, you all. That's right. Peace out to you, Frank, honey. That's right. Just Rainia Blue, your Auntie Gina thanks you. You're welcome. That's right. If you think of that biblical scripture, it says like, was it the disciples came to Jesus? There's people casting out demons in your name. What should we do about it? Because they weren't one of the apostles. Leave them alone. He said he is not against me, is with us or whatever. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking about, you all. You're so welcome. You are. Let me put it back here. You all. How did my head get off that screen? It just did, because I got to move these Anunnakis, these aliens right here, you all. So, according to that, they've been fighting against these bad aliens in the earth and above the earth and on the earth for years and years and years, fighting against them. Yeah. So, I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And don't think about this, you all. Don't think about it at all. Just let it go. Just get it out of your mind. Don't feed on it. This is just an awareness video. The same thing that was done to the cattle and stuff. It was bad beings, bad entities that did it, and probably still doing it. And they've been doing it for hundreds of, probably thousands of years with their advanced technology. They don't like the human race. Okay, they don't. Well, we don't like them either. We don't. That's right, you all. We don't. Let me do this. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, you all. Thank you, moderators, and thank you all for your comments. Love you.